Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing day 22 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. The prompt for today is the hardest tarot card to get when first started learning. And how do I feel about that card now? I have a couple of cards. I looked through a deck. For this video I'm using the Thelema deck. And I looked through to see what were the cards that were, let's say, the last to make their meanings clear for me. And in the beginning I was unsure what the difference between the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands was, because both were about plans, but I did not see the real distinction between the two meanings, the two interpretations. I slowly learned what the differences are for these two cards, so this was something that I worked with a little bit more. Also, the Seven of Cups was a little bit elusive for me, how to interpret this in a reading, how to translate it to a specific situation, to a specific reading. And I think this is probably the one card that still gives me pause sometimes when it comes up in a reading. Another seven was a tricky one for me. It wasn't a tricky one, it was something that I really had to work with. This was a stalker card for me, and it came up so many times and in so many different aspects or interpretations than the regular sneakiness card, that I now have a completely different understanding of this depiction of this card's meaning. In regard of the majors, the two hidden aspects were the trickiest for me, the High Priestess and the Moon, because these are just so their meanings are, I think, the hardest to actually pinpoint, to get a clear idea how many things or what these things can represent. But more and more I think I'm able to interpret these cards in readings and the many aspects that they represent when they come up. And finally, what still gives me the run for my money is the Court. The Courts to me are still a bit of a mystery, not necessarily in what each card represents, but how to interpret that card in a specific reading. Sometimes they behave like outsiders in a reading, and they don't really seem to connect to the other cards around them. And that is one thing that I still struggle with, how to connect the Court cards to the other cards in the spread, to the other cards in a reading. I would really love to wake up one day and just have a clear understanding and to be able to just look at the card and immediately get a good sense to what it is referring to. But until that day comes, I still have to work with these cards and just take each day as it comes and each reading as it comes, and hope that one day these cards will reveal themselves to me just as the other cards did. So at this point I would say I have a fairly good grip on the cards that I've shown, except for the chords. Those are still where I need to work with more, and I need to be more diligent in doing more research on how to interpret court cards in a spread, what they can refer to, and how they can be connected to the minors and majors in a spread, in a reading. So that was my very brief response to day 22. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.